everyone, this is just a little extra video that has actually come from some of the discussion on this week's or last week's learning point. And quite simply, there was a clip where I was coming up to a set of red lights. Someone from the left hand side was being let out, and I decided not to let them out and beat my horn, show a little bit of caution, but then carry on. And there's been a couple of comments. I must say the majority of people have got it and understand what should go on in this situation, but there's been a couple of comments saying that I should have waited, and it's right to wait. And honestly, sometimes it's not, and this was one of those situations. So what we're going to look at today is the technicalities behind should you let someone go or shouldn't you, and also what can be the problems if you do this unnecessarily. Let's start off with having a look at the clip that I showed on the learning point, the one where I was driving. Watch up on the left behind the bus stop. Should I have let this car out? Well, it depends on many things, and we're going to have a look at this in a minute. So now you've had a little look at that clip, you can probably go over to the comments and have a little look. Honestly, it doesn't seem too complicated for me. I've replied in the comments that sometimes people who let people through unnecessarily or let people out unnecessarily can cause more problems, and a lot of the time it's down to a lack of planning. And I'm just going to show you a little bit of an example of this right now. This is me driving, and the car that we're interested in is the one directly in front of us. As I move off, you can already see the slowness of the vehicles going round the left turn a little bit further. So there's got to be problems around this bend. Now you can see up into the road a little. It's the car waiting out of the junction on the left that this one in front tries to give way to. This can be helpful sometimes, but in this situation, nothing's been planned. The black one to the left couldn't get out anyway. The one in front may have also been worried about the National Grid van that's just gone into that road on the left, but you could actually see that that was always going to flow out of the way, so there's no real reason to stop the cars behind you. So as you can see, that clip leading into the retail park, the person in front of me had no real plan of what was going on all around. Even if that car from the left had have started to move, it couldn't get very far. So that's what I mean by most people who let others out in this situation don't really have a plan themselves. Now, it's not always the case. There is a need to let others out. I do junctions all the time where learners aren't as quick and as sharp as maybe they should be coming out of a corner and out of a junction, and sometimes people see that particular problem and let them go. But there are far too many people who just see that car waiting from the side road and just jump on the brakes and let them out, and that can be dangerous. It can be dangerous because quite simply there's no plan to it, and the people behind have no idea what's going on in your head. And that's the big key. I always turn around and say to pupils and people who I'm teaching that if you've got priority and it's safe to flow, keep flowing. It can be a little problematic if you just jump on the brakes. People behind aren't expecting that. They don't know you're going to do that. And when there's no reason to do that, it then can be an issue. Other people say, well, if there's no one behind, it doesn't matter. Well, that shows a lack of planning for me also, because if there's no one behind, just carry on past, and then literally they can go in behind you when you've gone through. So it is all about traffic flow, but it is also all about safety. Now, Safety is the key. In that first clip, my learning point, my speed was slow. I was always ready for that vehicle to come out from behind the obstructed view, and that is the key. You have to show sometimes a little bit of positivity, but always be ready to stop. So we've had a look at a clip where someone stops unnecessarily. Let's have a little look at a clip now. This was from one of my lessons with one of my learners, where it is a good idea to let someone out. That's it. Now, I would help this one stop, because holding further back already says to this one, we're going to let you go, and don't move till they move. Now move. Make sense? Now, sometimes it's not a good idea to let people out, other times it is. And that was a classic for being perfect time to let someone out. We can't get very far, you may as well help someone else. Alright? Does that make sense? Boss, well done. Here's another example where it's good to let someone out, but we also discuss how we control people who we don't want to let go. What would you do with the red one, do you think? I think so. Come up to your road though. Good. In first. Good. And honestly stop. You can't get anywhere anyway, mate.
I know what I'm getting to anyway.
So you're better off just holding it back. But when the cars up there start moving, creep.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
So it just starts moving up there and out the lights.
Good. When do you think you should creep? Yes, good. Because the creep would even say to this oncoming one, you're not turning, we're going.
Yeah.
And if anyone else came out, it would say the same to them. So you're in charge, quite simply. When traffic is flowing, don't stop and give way unnecessarily.
Yeah. People
behind aren't expecting that. But if you're in a queue,
there's no reason not to.
It might be an idea to let one or two out. Alright, I wouldn't let loads out, because all that's going to do is hack off loads of people behind you.
That's going to make it even harder for you to get through the lights.
Alright, okay. So that's the classic scenario where our traffic can't flow, we can't get anywhere. And in fact, we've got a situation like that now, where the car in front of me has rightly so chosen to just let the other one come out from the cemetery. That one there to the right was also a perfect example. There's no one behind me, so therefore I can keep flowing and allow the silver car to go in just after, and there's no need in that situation. But it's the starers and the lockers on and the people who don't plan who actually cause the problems, letting people out unnecessarily. And that's where things become dangerous. So just to sum up, if you are in a queue of traffic and you can't get very far, maybe let someone out, help someone. But if your traffic's flowing, try and stick with the priority, because priority is something that everyone knows, or everyone should know. No one knows what's going on in your brain apart from you. So if we stick to the rules wherever possible and work with the rules and work with the highway code, everyone sort of knows where they're at and what should go on, and then there's very little that's surprising. So when people are surprised, then accidents happen. And remember, there's a danger with people behind. Learners get hit from behind all the time because they stop unnecessarily. So try and give us learners a little bit more room. It's not going to be my insurance that's going to be picking up the tab, it's going to be yours. But remember, when people stop unnecessarily or surprisingly, there's always an issue with people behind. So go with priority, keep the traffic flowing, but think of others rather than yourself. Thanks a lot for watching, and thanks for all the comments, even from this particular subscriber who seems to just try and pick on every single thing that I do. It's honestly great that people have different opinions, and please just keep on leaving these comments. It inspires me to then go off and fill in the gaps of these people who, honestly, they're supposedly professional drivers, and they haven't got a clue about many things. All they seem to do is just argue the toss, and it's a shame that people treat this channel in that way. The best comments are often the most constructive ones, but there's still a place for anyone who's got any opinion, and I appreciate every single comment. So just keep learning, just trying to keep picking up little bits and bobs. I'm not necessarily right about absolutely everything. This is just my opinion. I try and find the most logical and easiest way to get through situations and help the roads be a better place. There's no room for selfishness on our roads, however it does seem to be getting more and more selfish the further we get down. So thanks a lot for watching. Again, thanks a lot for all the comments, and I'll hope to see you all soon.